Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Zoom strength and balance class with Hannah and her dogs and possibly her small child. We'll be doing a strength routine followed by some balance exercises. For this workout, you might need a mat. A couple of the exercises will be based on the floor, although I will give a seated modification if you prefer not to get yourself on the floor. You'll need some water because it's a warm day, warmish. It's important to drink even when it's not super hot. And you'll need a set of weights, like a pair of these. These are 3 pounds. You can use 2, 3, or 5. All of those are appropriate. Otherwise, you will need just some space to work and a chair to use for balance or to use for a couple of the exercises. And also maybe something else to use as balance. Be close to your kitchen countertop or have a wall right here, something like that. All right, let's get started. I'm going to stand up and we will warm up. You could be seated for the warm up if you want to. I prefer to be standing, and if it's possible for you to be standing, please do. All right, let's begin. Chair out the way. Tidy the mat that the dog's just messed up. A lot of blame on the dogs today. All right, let's stand up nice and tall. And we're going to start by moving our feet. It's nice and easy. In that relaxed march. Moving his arms side to forward and back. Not side to side, forward and back. Let's take our shoulders and we'll bring them up towards our ears. And relax down. Up. And down, up and down, and one more. And then let's roll our shoulders, pick them up, make nice big circles. And one more. And then let's roll those shoulders forwards. Good. Bring those arms out to the side. Make little circles here. And back in the other direction. Just warming up gently. Starting with those arms and those shoulders. Let's turn these into big circles. So reaching forwards as if we're swimming. A nice front crawl. I think all of a sudden it is swimming season. Good, reaching right out, and let's go backwards. You can bend at the elbow a little bit, almost as if you're brushing your hair. Very good. Hello. Good, let's keep that march going. Shake those arms out. We're gonna look at our... So let's take one toe and heel. Tap your toe. Heel, toe, heel. We can add our arms as well. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Let's switch to the other side. I'm just going to make sure that everybody is muted. How do I do that? There we go. You just hear a little background noise. I know I have a lot of background noise, but that's unavoidable. Touch our toe and our heel. So we're on that second side now. Toe to heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Good. Let's pedal our heels one at a time. While we're here, we'll talk about our posture. So we're going to be standing up nice and tall. Let's add our arms in here. Standing up nice and tall, relaxing our shoulders, looking up and ahead. So having really a nice, tall chest. Think about those abdominal muscles. So pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Good. Let's circle our wrists here while we paddle those heels. Good, this is such a nice warm up for your feet too. Back in the other direction, as well as the low legs. Good. Shake those arms and legs out a little bit here. Let's tap our toes. So toes are flat on the floor, or feet are flat on the floor rather. Scrunch up those toes, stretch them out if you can. Wiggle those toes, wiggle those fingers. Let's tap our fingers to thumb as we tap those toes. Good. Good. Let's squeeze those hands, stretch those fingers out. Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch. So we make a tight fist and then stretch those fingers out far as you can. Squeeze, stretch those fingers out. Squeeze, stretch those fingers out. Squeeze, stretch those fingers out. Good. We're going to think about our hips a little bit. So let's stand with our feet hip width apart. We're going to circle those hips. Nice big circles. Good, nice and slow. Big circle here. Back in the other direction. Good, let's relax here. Take one leg, I'm going to start on my left. Pick that left knee up. Bring it out to the side, step that foot down. Pick it up again, back to center, and step down. You can just see me holding onto the wall, so please hold on to something for some support if you need to. The same thing again. And let's do a third round on this leg. Pick that knee up, out to the side, step down, up, back in, and down. Let's switch to the other side. Pick that knee up, we'll go out, and down, up, back in, down, up, out, down. So we're rotating and opening that hip. Good, warming that joint up, in, and down. Good. To finish this warm up, let's take a deep breath. Nice big inhale. Reach those arms up to the ceiling. Big stretch. And exhale down. Oh boy. Big inhale and exhale. Great. Oh, this one shoulder feels not happy. All right, let's begin. We're going to start with a sit to stand. You know what's happening with this piece of hair? I can't get it to be where it should be. We're going to start with a sit to stand. So let's let's grab our chair or be close to our chair. Here we go. So we'll sit down with feet flat on the floor. I like to position my feet so I can find my chair again. So the outside of my heels on the inside of my chair leg. We'll sit up nice and tall. I want some space between your back and the back of the chair. You can't quite see here, but I'm not leaning against the back of the chair. Pulling my belly button in towards my spine and relaxing my shoulders. Now, as we stand up, we're going to come up onto tiptoes. And that doesn't mean you have to push yourself up on tiptoes, but once you're standing, hop up onto those tiptoes. If you can, if your balance allows, have a go. And then we'll sit slowly back down. All right, here we go. Up and onto our tiptoes. Lower those heels and sit. Good. Up onto the tiptoes and slowly lower down. Good. Up onto tiptoes. Slowly lower down and sit. Up onto tiptoes. Whoops. How's your balance? Good. Let's keep going. Up. Tiptoes. Slowly lower. Up. Onto tiptoes. I feel like the camera angle is a little bit strange. Tiptoes. And we'll do two more. Up onto our tiptoes. Lower down and one more. Up. Tiptoes. And then let's not sit down, let's just stay standing because our next exercise is going to be on our feet. Move this chair out of the way. We are going to grab one weight. And we're going to perform a hip hinge. So we're going to hold this weight just here at our chest, a nice relaxed grip, nice and easy in your hands. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. My feet are flat on the floor, standing up tall, little bend of those knees. Soft knees are very important. We've got our shoulders engaged, our shoulders back. We're going to hinge at the hip. So come down to about here, stick your bum out, bring those hips back in. So we hinge at the hip. You basically fold forward at the waist. And as you do so, you stick your bum right out behind you. Nice and slow on the way down. Big exhale as you stand up. Nice and slowly down. Exhale, squeeze your bum as you stand up. Let's do 2 more. Nice and slowly down. And last one. Very good. Pop that weight down. And we'll do some heel raises. So let's get back to the chair or whatever it is you're using for balance supports. Now we're going to add a little optional degree of difficulty to this one. So usually with our heel raises, we come up onto both toes and then lower those heels. Now this time I'm going to perform mine on one leg. You can do both legs or you can join in on the one leg, but we're definitely going to hold onto the chair for balance because it's quite a challenge. So I'll take my right foot off the floor just ever so slightly. It doesn't have to be a long way up. Push myself up onto my left and slowly lower down. And we'll do about 5 here on the one foot. Remember, if you're doing both feet at the same time, that's fine. Just follow along on both feet. And last one, up onto that toe and then slowly lower down. Let's switch to the other side. Stick the weight onto the one leg. It's my right this time. Take my left foot off the floor, up and slowly down. Good. There's a chainsaw on the TV that my son is watching. It sounds so loud. All right, I think that was the last one. Good, let's relax there. Now we are going to stay standing behind that chair, still using that chair for some support. I'll just turn to the side so you can see me. I'm going to pick my one foot up to bring it towards my bum, and then the other. So we're doing some standing hamstring curls. Just nice and slow, be easy here. Good. Bringing that foot up as high as you can. You should really feel that big contraction, like a big squeeze of that muscle in the back of your thigh. It's your hamstring muscle. We'll do 2 more on each side. Here's one. Good. And relax. Great. Do we have another? All right, good. We're going to have a quick drink and then repeat all of those lower body exercises again. All right. Bring this chair around. Ready to sit. For those sit to stands, remember we're coming up onto our tiptoes if you can. So feet flat on the floor to start with, shoulders relaxed, looking up. Push down with those feet and up onto tiptoes. Slowly lower and sit. Good, up, tiptoes, lower those heels, nice and slow on the way down. Good, keep that chest really tall. We'll keep looking up and ahead. Let's do 3 more. 1 and 2. And here's 3. And 6. Very good. What's next? I can't remember. Okay, up we come. We're going to do a hip hinge. Let's grab that one weight. And we're going to hold it here at our chest. We'll stand to the side. I'm going to stand to the side just so you can see me. Knees are soft. Very important to have those soft knees. Now, what I don't want you to do is this, which is a squat. I want you to do this, which is a hip hinge. So you think about bringing your chest towards the floor. We're hinging at the hips. So you see I'm pushing my hips back, bring my chest towards the floor. Keep those knees really soft. Here we go. Big inhale as you come down. Exhale. Squeeze through your bum as you stand up. Nice and slow lowering. One more. Very good. Pop the weight down. And let's do our heel raises. Just going to grab my chair again. So holding on, I'm going to do these on one leg. You can join in on one leg or do both. Do just both legs at the same time. I'm going to take my right foot just off the floor slightly, push up onto my left toe. Toes. Up onto my tiptoes of my left foot. There we go. And lowering that foot nice and slowly. Let's do one more. And switch to the other side. Good. Remember, if you're doing both feet, you'll just continue. And last one. Good. Let's stay standing behind that chair. We'll just turn it to the side so you see me. Pick up one foot and then the other. Giving those hamstrings a nice workout. Just nice and slow, seeing how high you can bring that foot. Oh dear, dogs are upstairs. They don't need to go upstairs. Rupert, can you call the dogs from downstairs? Can you make them come downstairs? Can you shut the door to upstairs now? We'll do 2 more on each side. Hi, what are you guys doing? Root, shut the door up there. And one more. Good. All right, relax. And do we have one more there? No, we didn't. Let's have a drink and then we will grab our weights for some upper body work. Okie dokie. Let's pick those weights up. We're going to start with a bicep curl. And we'll do one arm at a time. So we're going to curl up one arm, all the way up, hand to shoulder. Press that hand up above your head, up to the ceiling. Bring that hand down nice and slowly and relax. And then the other arm. Curl up overhead, nice and slow, all the way down. One more, curl up overhead, bring that elbow down, nice and slow. Curl up overhead, and down. This time we're going to do both at the same time. Curl and press, nice and slow, all the way down. And another one like that. Curl and press, nice and slow on the way down. Now let's go back to one arm at a time. Curl and press, nice and slow as you lower. Other side, press, drop that elbow and relax. One more on each side. Curl and press, lower that elbow, nice and slow. Curl and press, drop that elbow, nice and slowly, both together. Curl both hands up, press above your head. and down, curl, and press. Nice and slow, and relax. Great. Next, we're going to hold those hands again in front of us. My palms are facing me. I'm going to pick my elbows up. I'm going to pick up those weights, lift my elbows so that my elbows are about parallel. Upper arms are parallel with the floor. You can see I have a nice straight line from my shoulder to my elbow. They're not way up in the air and they're not lowered down. Now, one thing that you can do when you do this, or one thing that can happen, is that you want to curl your hands in. So you want to curl at the wrist. You see that here? Let's try not to do that. So think about keeping a neutral wrist. So my wrist doesn't really move. The movement is mostly in my elbow and my shoulder. So I'm not doing this. I'm not picking up that wrist, picking up that hand, just the elbow and the shoulder. All right, let's try that. We'll do 8 of these, both arms at the same time. If you can more easily manage one arm at a time, then please do that. Here we go. And nice and slow on the way down. Good. Pick those elbows up, parallel with the floor. Yeah, parallel with the floor is what I want to say. So they're about level with your shoulders, elbows to shoulder height. Thinking about that nice flat neutral wrist. So trying to minimize the movement of the wrist. Good. And we're keeping a tall chest. We're just moving nice and slowly. Good, let's do 2, 1, and relax, and 2, and relax. Good. Oh, I did a lot of demonstrations of what not to do with your wrist. With my wrist that often feels sore. That was a mistake because, oh, that feels better. Don't do it because it will give you a sore wrist. All right, let's go back to our bicep curls. So turn those hands out with doing a bicep curl and then an overhead press. So we're going to have 2 movements in one. So curl up one hand, press to the ceiling, slowly down. And the other, curl, press, and down. Curl, press, switch to the other side, curl, press, and down. Both hands at the same time, curl, press, slowly on the lower, curl, and press. Very good. One hand at a time, curl, press, slowly down, curl, press. Nice and slowly, curl, press. Good, curl, and press. Great, 2 hands, curl, press. Nice and slow as you lower down, curl, and press. Good. Now turn those palms so they're facing your body, and we'll pop into that upright row. Keep those wrists nice and flat, hit those elbows high, about shoulder level. Good. Keep that chest nice and tall, shoulders are relaxed. So we're looking up and ahead, and we're thinking about that upper body position and that abdominal position too. So pulling your belly button in towards your spine a little ways. We'll do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. All right, let's pop those weights down. Have a drink. Shoot in, yes. Now, we're going to do a couple of abdominal muscles. There are abdominal exercises. There is a floor option, so lying on the floor, and then there's also a seated option if that works better for you. I'm going to demonstrate the seated option first because I will then perform the laying down option. So if you're seated, exercise number 1, we're going to do a seated knee raise. So sitting towards the edge of your chair, space between your back and the back of the chair, sitting up nice and tall, pulling the belly button into your spine. Pick up one knee and then the other. Nice and slowly, and especially slowly as you lower that foot. Number 2, you need to move back so you can see me a little bit better. Is we're going to stretch that one leg out and lift and lower that one leg. You can alternate, or you can do a couple on each side. Good. How you think? You know, I'm going to lie on that, so you're going to try and get on top of me. All right, people who are going to be on the floor. So remember those, you got a seated knee raise and a seated leg extension. We stretch that leg down. When you're thinking about core muscles all the time, when you're there, people on the floor, you're going to come down to the floor with me. This dog is going to be in the wrong place. Out the way from it. All right, so coming down to the floor nice and slowly, let's lower ourselves to the ground. So you're lying on your back. Now you're gonna bring your knees, bring these legs up in the air. I'm so sorry about the dog. You can lie back, there you go. Legs up in the air, your knees are bent. So to start with, we're gonna tap one toe to the floor and then the other. Okay, people seated who are doing your knee raises, you can go ahead. Everybody else who's on the floor, let's tap one toe and then the other. Nice and slow and controlled. You're thinking about pulling that belly button towards your spine. This is really working some low abdominal muscles. One more on each side. Here's 1 and 2. Good. Everybody relax. Now, friends who are doing the seated exercises, you're going to switch to those leg extensions. So stretching one leg out at a time and lifting it up and down. Everybody else, we're going to slide one heel across the floor. You can see my feet are flat on the floor to start with. The dog's head is in the way. So let's slide one heel across the floor so that leg is straight out and then back in. And then the other. Good. Nice and slow. Great. Good. Moving nice and slowly, stretching that leg out, bringing it back. One more on each side. And 2. Good. All right, take a deep breath here. We're going to stay like this. We're not going to get up again because we're going to repeat those 2 exercises, one right after another, and then we'll come up to feet for balance. So seated people, hop into those knee raises. Everybody else on the floor, bring those legs up. So your knees are bent, and then we're going to tap one toe and the other. Good. Nice and slowly, in control. Two more on each side. Here's 1 and 2. Good. Bring both those feet down to the floor. If you're seated, let's go straight into those leg extensions. So straightening that leg out, lifting it up and down. If you're lying down with your feet flat on the floor, let's stretch out one heel and then the other. Stretch that leg right out and bring it back. We'll do one more on each side. Little assistant dog here. This is paw on my arm. You can't see from your angle. Okay, great. Let's relax, everybody. If you're seated, you can just relax, have a drink. And if you're on the floor, let's have this front feet flat on the floor. I'm going to walk my feet over to the right-hand side because I'm going to roll to the left. So walk my feet to the right and then drop my knees to the left and then roll my upper body so I'm lying on my left side. This arm at the top is my right hand. Push myself up so that I'm sitting. And then from here, thanks, Lupin. Lupin's going to help me up. I'm going to bring myself up onto all fours. Now from here, you can bring a foot forward and push yourself up, or use your dog, or hopefully your chair is within reach. Pull yourself up using your chair. Good, and then we're up nice and slowly, sometimes coming from the floor to standing up. Whew, can leave you a bit lightheaded, or usually does with me. So let's have a drink here. I'll give you all a second to come up to feet. And then we'll work on some balance. So let's get set up for balance. Be sure that you're close to your chair or whatever it is you're using to support yourself. Oh, I am dizzy after standing up. All right. Let's stand up nice and tall here. Hopefully everyone's on their feet. We're going to start with our feet as close together as they can be. So feet pressing into the floor. Pull away from your heels, through to the front of your feet, into your toes. Squishing down into the floor. We're standing up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. Let's look up and ahead. Pull that belly button towards your spine. And take a nice deep breath here. Good, let's raise one arm to the ceiling. And then the other. And then let's raise one, both hands. Arms out to the side, reach your arms forwards. Palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down, palms up and down, up and down. Let's relax our arms, relax those feet. Very good. Standing close to our balance support, so my chair, I'm going to take the weight to my left leg. So that means bending my left knee a little bit. And I'm going to raise my right arm and my right leg at the same time. So like this. And then this is slow on the way down. Good. Up and down. Good. And then one more. Putting that foot down nice and slowly. And let's switch to the other side. So taking the weight onto my other leg, so that's my right this time. Raise that left arm and left foot. Nice and slowly, simultaneously. And last one. Good. All right, what's next? Oh, this time I'm going to raise my right leg. So take the weight onto my left knee or left side, left foot. And when you're taking the weight onto one foot, you want to think about keeping that foot that's on the floor very relaxed. So it's really pressing into the ground, nice and relaxed. Okay, take the other foot up. My knee is bent. And my upper legs, my thighs kind of parallel with the floor. I'm just going to turn this way so you can see that a little bit better. So it looks like this. If yours looks more like this and that's comfortable for you, that is okay. We just want our foot off the floor. And then I'm going to stretch that leg out and back in. Try and look up and ahead. And one more. Good, relax that foot. Switch to the other side. Take that leg up, stretch that foot out, and back in. Out, and back in. Out, and in. Out, and in. One more. Out, and in. Good. All right. I'm going to move my chair out of the way, but if you need that balance support, then please stay close to it. Now, our next balance exercise, we're going to take a really big step forwards. We're going to land with almost in like a lunge. So we sink right down and then we'll stand back up. It's much easier if I just demonstrate this. So I'm going to take a big step forwards, bend my knees as I land, push myself back up. So the object is to land and not be wobbly, to be very, very secure in our landing, and then be able to push yourself back up without wobbling around too much. So keeping our balance. So let's stand up, let's start standing up nice and tall. And the size of your step forwards and backwards depends on how easy you find this today. So you can take a very small step, bend his knees just a little, or you can be bold and take a really big step and back up. I have to look away from the camera so I can concentrate. Let's look up and ahead and forwards and back up. I'm going to work all on one side and then switch. And if you find it easier to alternate legs, you can do that too. I'm going to do one more on this side. It's just taking a big step, bending my knees, sinking down, pushing back up. Oh, somebody just joined the class. Let's switch to the other side. Back up. Pressing down into the ground, pushing yourself back up. Keeping those shoulders back. We're looking up and ahead. One more. Actually, and another one. Oh, I looked away. I didn't concentrate, so I was wobbly. Good, great. Have a quick drink. We have one more balance exercise to do. We're going to work on some of our tightrope walk, which, if you remember, we take heel to toe steps. Nice. And slowly bring our feet as close to each other as they can be. Now, to make this a little bit more difficult, we want to take a really high step. So I'm going to bring my foot quite high and step down. Come here, lad. Take a really big high step before I place my foot where it should be on that tightrope. Good. Now backwards is a little bit more tricky. If you need to do this holding on to something, that's okay. That doesn't work for the camera. So I'm challenging myself to do it without the support. And we'll go forwards again. Now your step doesn't have to be a bit as big as mine. It can be more like this, but really working on taking that foot all the way up off the floor. More than usual. Whoops. Probably. And we'll go forwards and back one more time. Forwards, 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 and back. Great. Very good, everybody. Let's have a drink and we're ready to stretch. Bring that one arm across your body. Oh, thank you. Good. Standing up nice and tall. Nice big deep breaths. Let's switch to the other side. Oh, excuse me. Now we've stopped our yawning. Now relax it. Step 1 foot forwards. And then bend that knee. So we've got that back foot flat on the floor. Should be able to feel the stretch in that back leg. Standing up nice and tall. Let's take same side as your back leg. That arm comes to the ceiling. So we're reaching all the way up. So stretching from your heel to your fingertips on the one side of your body. We'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and relax, and let's switch to the other side. Step that foot forward, bend your knee, stand up nice and tall, tuck that tailbone underneath you a little bit, so stretch into that hip, same side arm comes to the ceiling. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And relax that out. I'm going to grab my chair and sit down. You can sit right back in your chair. Pick that one knee up, pull it up towards your chest. And then we'll circle. Ow! Circle those ankles. Oh, somebody needs his claws trimmed, just stood on my foot. Back in the other direction. Luke and you and I are perfectly coordinated in our black and orange today. Let's switch to the other foot. Good boy. Pull that knee up towards your chest and circle that foot. Back in the other direction as well. Good. Let's sit up nice and tall. Take those hands, reach for the back of the room. Stretch those fingertips out. See if you can touch the wall behind you. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Lift your chest, lift your head. Take a big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, wrap those arms around you. Nice tight squeeze. On the back. Thank you so much for joining this class. Hope everyone has a super weekend, and see some of you next week.
Thank you, Hannah. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Yeah, you too, Debbie. Hope the dance is fun.
Thanks.
See you.
Thanks, Hannah. Good workout.
Thank you.